I'm the bad guy for not letting my best friend have her wedding on my property after being uninvited. One of my best friends, Carla, is getting married soon. It's only meant to be a small backyard type of wedding, but they've been planning it for a few months now, and originally it was supposed to be on my property. They wanted it because it's private, has lots of open space for the reception, a nice view, and the house could be used for them to get ready and stuff. Of course I said yes. She and her fiancé Rick were very happy. Thanks as Carla and I do have a story. We went out and off in college but decided to stay friends. Then I met my wife. We got married. Carla met Rick and now here they are. Now my wife knows I went out with Carla back in college and she didn't care. Carla still went to our wedding and everything. I never know if Rick was told or not. It's not my relationship, not my business to say anything, so I never did. Rick found out recently and not in the best way. Not sure how, but from what I heard from friends is that one mutual friend told him, no idea why, we used to date. Not only that, but apparently Carla said a couple years ago she was still in love with me when she was already dating Rick. Don't have actual confirmation if that's exactly what he was told. All Carlos told me is that Rick was told about our past and he's angry at her for never saying anything. It became quite a drama and didn't hear from her over a month until now. She told me they're going to couples counseling and that the wedding is still on, but Rick requires that I not attend. It sucks, but I totally get why he wouldn't be comfortable. Then I asked the obvious question, where are they going to hold the wedding then? To my surprise, she said they still want it at our place. Rick said so too, and in my mind I'm going, he doesn't want the guy who dated his fiancée years ago at the wedding, but still wants the wedding at his house. My wife and I are expected to just not be at our home that weekend, and I told Carla no. They're going to have to find some place else since we're not going to simply leave our home to them for the weekend. Not only for safety reasons, but it just doesn't make sense. Rick doesn't want me around because he's not comfortable, but it's comfortable enough to have their wedding at my house. They really want their wedding here though, and because of that, I've been budgeted by not only her but also Rick and some friends who think I'm being a pretty bad guy for not letting them have the wedding here anymore. Honestly, I don't think that I am. It just doesn't make sense at all to have to leave our own place for a wedding we're no longer welcome to and leaving our home totally vulnerable. Still being accused of sabotaging their wedding, and Rick believes it's the least I can do after everything. So am I the bad guy here? Am I the bad guy for telling the girl who kissed my boyfriend for a play that she's desperate and pathetic? I started drama at uni, and my boyfriend is on the same course. My boyfriend is a really good-looking guy, but he doesn't seem to know it. He gets a lot of attention from girls, and for the most part, doesn't seem to get that they're flirting with them. I'm not generally annoyed by this, and never really said anything. However, there's one girl in our class, let's call her Victoria, who's obsessed with my boyfriend. She goes out of her way to be paired with him in group activities. For example, if the professor picks groups by numbering us 1, 2, 3, she will move herself to be in the same number as him. And she recently stepped down from a main role in a play we're doing so she could be in a more minor one, simply because this character has a romance with my boyfriend. I know this is a case because I've heard her to say her friends that she thinks he's hot and whatnot. I've never said anything to her about it because she seems pretty and secure, always complaining about how she thinks she's ugly. And I don't see it's a big deal because my boyfriend doesn't care. However, we recently performed the play and had a small after party when she got slightly drunk and was bragging about how she definitely felt something when they kissed in the play, and she's going to ask him if he felt the same. I rolled my eyes and again ignored it until she actually went up to my boyfriend She was a little bit drunk, and when she went up to him, I was there too. Victoria started saying that she knows he must felt the spark. He's a really good kisser, etc. I snapped and sort of shouted at her that you sound incredibly desperate going after somebody else's boyfriend. You're pathetic if you think a stage kiss means you should be together. She looked super embarrassed and walked away, and I later heard she's going home crying. I felt like a bitch because she's obviously insecure and whatnot, and her friends haven't stopped calling me a witch since. So am I the bad guy here? Am I the bad guy for jumping out of a bathroom window to avoid my mom's attempt at forcing a reunion between me and my ex-fiancé? Some backstory. I had been dating my ex-fiancée Sarah for 4 years. We had been planning to get married in November 2020, but I found out at the start of the month that she cheated on me. She begged me to give her another chance, but I broke it off. The problem was that being cheated on is, in my mind, completely emasculating and humiliating. So I never told anyone that was the reason we broke up. For obvious reasons, Sarah also didn't tell people we broke up because she cheated. So people have blamed me for the breakup, including my mom. They just see that I dumped her out of the blue. I've gone very strict no contact with Sarah after I discovered she was cheating on me. Sarah has been talking with my mom and has convinced her that if we could talk one more time, we will be able to reconcile. My mom has been applying hardcore pressure on me to talk with Sarah, but I've explained that there is no chance we will ever get back together. So tonight I go over to my mom's place because she's hosting family for Christmas Eve. I'm there for a bit talking with my aunts and uncles and cousins when the doorbell rings and I can see it's Sarah. I ask what the hell is going on, and my mom says she invited Sarah so we can work this out in the spirit of the holidays. I'm pissed now, because the only way to explain my side of the story is to tell everyone I was cheated on. Complete humiliation in front of my whole family. So as my mom goes to the front door, I go to the bathroom. My mom starts knocking on the door saying that I need to come out and talk to my ex like an adult. I say hello, kick out the window screen, and get in my car and go home. My mom called a short while ago saying she's cutting ties with me over my behavior. She's really fixated on me jumping out of the window, and that Sarah will always be lucky child to her. My sister called me after to ruin me out for ruining her Christmas. I broke down and I told her that Sarah cheated on me, which is why I dumped her, and I don't want to see her under any circumstances. She called me a big, bad guy who was lying to cover for myself. Am I really in the wrong here? What do you think? Am I the bad guy for asking my brother not to bring his boyfriend to my wedding? Okay, this is the worst. I'm losing sleep over this. I'm getting married in a week to an awesome woman, and I cannot wait to be her husband. We are so excited. My brother is a gay, but my family doesn't know. Only me and my parents know. I come from a very old school traditional family, so the old part of the family, grandparents and some aunt, uncles, still have lost centuries mind. And the younger portion, cousins, siblings, are open-minded and are living in the present. So my brother has been dating his boyfriend for 6 months now. The dude is great. I'm so happy my brother found a great guy, but it's kind of secret, and he hasn't told my family he's a gay. I've been telling him for years that he should come out, cause I know it stressed him a lot, and I think it will make him feel better not to hide anymore. Plus, I bet a few family members already know anyway. But he disagrees because he knows a part of the family wouldn't accept it, and it will be a lot of drama. I see the opposite. I see it as the sooner you know who the idiots are, the sooner we can cut them from our lives. I have no interest in having someone in my life that doesn't accept my brother's being gay. Anyway, that's his decision, not mine. So for now, he wouldn't say anything. Until a few weeks ago, when he said he wants to bring his boyfriend to my wedding, I was not expecting that, to be honest. So he went from 0 to pretty 100 pretty fast. If it was any other occasion, I will be supportive obviously, but I don't think my wedding day is the day to do that. Imagine all the drama and gossip and bullshit that will happen. And I don't want to get the attention away from my fiancé. That's her day. And I don't want to have to worry about that on my wedding day. And then I think it's a pretty good reason. I asked him why my wedding day. He said it's because he wants to celebrate love with the two people he loves the most, me and his boyfriend. This is killing me. I will find my whole family for my brother and never speak to them again if I had to. But my wedding day is supposed to be celebration, not a family fight. And I can't do this to my wife. That might ruin our future. I didn't even tell her. She's already stressed out. Don't want to make it even worse. With a heavy heart, I asked him to please come along to the wedding and that I hope he understands me. He started crying and left my house without saying anything. Next day, I got a text and he said, "Don't worry, going alone." I tried calling him, but he didn't answer me. And my parents don't seem to know what's happening because they didn't say anything. He eventually called me back a few days later. We spoke. He said he understands my side, but things are still weird between us. This is the worst situation of my life. Am I the bad guy for handling in the way I did? Am I the bad guy if I stop paying my daughter's tuition over disgusting comments she made towards my new girlfriend? My wife died at the young age of 51 from a car accident. I was in deep mourning for about a year after her death. I met my new girlfriend, C, around January. C was the one who made me love for the first time after my wife died. She's smart as hell, 3 Ivy League degrees, has a dark sense of humor that I love, terrific cook, and overall an amazing woman who I can imagine spending the rest of my life with. She's also on the heavier side, a fact that becomes relevant later. Have 2 children, E and A. They were well aware that I had gotten a new girlfriend before I first introduced them to C this summer. She got along immediately with E, but A was very standoffish. After that initial meeting, I asked A if there was something wrong, but she denied it. C made a few more attempts to get to know A, but they were all rudely rejected. E and A both came home for Thanksgiving Day. Ask A to please be polite during the meal since she's always been rude in her interactions with C, even though C has been nothing but ridiculous in return. The dinner was going as well as it could have for the first 10 minutes, although I noticed A glaring at C the entire time. When C went to grab her 3rd helping of mashed potatoes, A said, "Don't you think you've been eating enough, you fat pig?" C started sobbing immediately and ran off into the bedroom. I felt my face turn red and I told A to get out. About half an hour after A left, I texted her stating that I will no longer pay her tuition unless 1, she apologized to C, and 2, C accepted her apology. A must have assumed that I was bluffing because she instead doubled down on her behavior during Thanksgiving dinner. I then logged it into her university tuition payment website, canceled next semester tuition, and sent A the screenshots. She called me crying and begging me to reconsider, but I told her my mind was made up. So, am I the bad guy here? Am I the bad guy for telling a social worker the real reason my sister wants a foster kid? I'm a 28 female, and I have a sister for the sake of story. I'll just call Jane. Jane is married to Bob, and they have 2 kids, boy and girl. My niece and nephew are wonderful kids, and no trouble at all. They fight as siblings, but nothing big. I love them. Now, for about 2 years, I did live with my sister. It was a miserable time that really affected our relationship. She saw me as free labor, money, and babysitting. Even when I managed to get a small part-time job, she demanded a hand over nearly half my pay or get out. It was hell as she took completely advantage of me. I moved out as soon as I could, and we have little contact outside of family gatherings. Now, after I move out, she started complaining how she has no help with the kids and never gets a break. I babysit sometimes, but I have made it clear just cause I'm at work doesn't mean I want an 8-hour day with my niece and nephew. Anyway, she started talking about how she wanted to foster a kid. Not a kid, but a teenager. I pressed her for more info on this. She wants to adopt a teenager, so she has to live with a babysitter for her kids. This is her logic. I want a kid around 16 or 17. You know, someone who may be in this system for a while. They can share a room with your nephew. She only has a 3-bedroom house. Or sleep in the garage. They can help me with housework, chores, cook, and help me with my business. She bakes and sells cookies. Also, babysit the kids so me and Bob can go out sometimes or have some alone time. They'll be so grateful for a home and won't complain. I won't have to pay them at all. And then when they turn 18, I can just sign up for another foster kid. A teenager will be so much easier than a little kid. They will be grateful just to have a roof, food, siblings if they have been separated from the real ones and clothes. I was horrified. Told her it was a horrible idea. She didn't listen to me. She went on with it anyway. About a month ago, a social worker showed up at my apartment to ask me some questions about my sister. She had put me down as a character witness or something like that. I immediately told the social worker why my sister really wanted a foster kid and how she treated me when I lived with her. The lady thanked me. My sister called and crying, saying that she wouldn't be considered for any adoptions or fosters. The social worker told her that they felt for her home and her wearing a good fit. She asked if I said anything, and I told the truth. She went off on me, hanging up, and we haven't spoken since. She has sent some angry texts. A couple family members are on her side. They think foster kids are fucking dogs or something, and will be so happy just to have a roof and will gladly do all the housework. So, am I the bad guy? Am I the bad guy for suing my parents for my college money? My grand-aunt set up savings accounts for all of her female relatives. In our cultural education, for women it's not really valued, and she thought that was bullshit. She lived with her father in London when she was educated. She went on to attend university and became a doctor. She married a British man. They moved to America and had a great life. She funded the education of as many of her nieces and grandnieces as she could. When she passed away, she left money for every girl relative she could. My parents managed to access the accounts that were set up for my sister and I. They used it to pay for my brother's wedding. My sister didn't care because she got married 2 years out of high school and had no intention of going to college. When I graduated, I went to the bank to get money for school and it was almost all gone. There was like $13,000 left. I asked my parents about it and they said they had needed the money. I finally found out where the money went. I got furious. I got students' loans and moved out. I'm a great source of shame to them, and I don't give two fucks. I'm currently suing them for the money that was left for me. My entire family is against me. They all think I'm a complete bad guy for airing private family business in public, and that I'm putting money ahead of family. My friends are all on my side, but they are all Americans. I don't really get my culture. Neither do I, to be honest. My brother called me up and offered to pay for my university if I dropped the lawsuit. I agreed as long as we had a legally binding contract. He said I was being a bad guy for not trusting him. I said he should not have accepted my money for his wedding. It is causing all kinds of embarrassment in our community. I'm somewhat ashamed to be doing this, but I don't want to have this debt I should not have. So, am I the bad guy here?